Are the Mavs the biggest threat to OKC in the West?
At the start of the season, no, because obviously you don't have Kyrie Irving. I'm going with the Lakers. I'm confused. Like before the playoffs started, everybody was screaming Lakers, 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 and they didn't even have a big. So now, if they go out and get a big, how are the Lakers not contending with OKC for the top spot? I just don't understand that, because last year everybody was screaming them. They was all over Luka, LeBron, AR. They're going to challenge for the championship. Now the year go past and it's like, we don't know what we're going to get, right? They make this move and get the pieces that they're supposed to get, a big, a backup, forward to defend. They put themselves in prime position to compete for another championship.
Well, if they go get prime Kareem as a big, that would help. But, I mean, look, I think if you look at
well, they didn't have him last year.
They did not have him last year.
And everybody was like they was going to win. And everybody said they was going to win.
Is this guy serious? Markieff, they were wrong.
The Lakers had a nice regular season after they got Luka Doncic, but we saw in the first round, lost in 5 games to the Minnesota Timberwolves. It was not exactly a competitive series. They have a lot of work to do to catch up to not just Minnesota, but Denver with Nikola Jokic, Houston with Kevin Durant. They just got significantly better. I think there's a few teams that I would put in between the Lakers and the Thunder. And you saw, I think, as the Thunder went through the playoffs, for the Lakers to be a true contender next season, they've got to get a lot more than a big. They've got to get more defensive help on the perimeter. They've got to get more shooting. They have to find an elite defender at the center spot. They got a lot of things they got to do.
Markieff, you're right. You're right, Markieff. There was a lot of hype around the Lakers before the playoffs started. And damn, did those playoffs end early in L.A. So, no, we're not putting the Lakers at the top of the list. The Lakers have glaring voids on their roster, specifically at center. Let's see how they fill the void, and then we maybe can discuss them potentially being a contender in the Western Conference.
Well, it's a big question about all these teams, right? I don't think nobody is really in prime position to just say they're going to win. But like I said about the Lakers again, man, it just don't happen overnight where they go from contending for a championship and now 8th or 7th in the West. Like, they're literally right at the point where it's just one big. They don't need to move a ton of their pieces around to be able to get the big. You just need a rim roller and a lob threat. Somebody that you could depend on that's gonna protect the rim for Luka and be basically this guy that's gonna clean up all his misses. But if you want to look at it, you have 2 of the best players in the league. Like, they're going to contend for a championship. I can almost guarantee that.
They might contend for home court advantage in the first round. Let's just start there again. You got bounced in 5 games in the first round. So
yeah, that's matchup. That's matchup though, Tim. That was a matchup. That's a matchup. That's all about matchups. That's, when the playoffs start, it's all about matchups. We got a bad matchup because if we match up with somebody else, it will go different. It was a bad matchup. But before that, you were one of the guys that thought the Lakers were going to win a championship.
Wrong.
I don't like to give McMahon a lot of
chance to contend.
I don't like to give McMahon a lot of backup, but he did not think the Lakers are going to win a title last year. I can tell you that. And look, you say there was a bad matchup in the first round. There's also 3 matchups you got to get through to get to the NBA Finals. The Lakers aren't going to match up very well with a lot of teams right now. And they go out and get a center that fixes a lot of their issues. They can add some shooting. They can add some other pieces. Maybe it's a different conversation. But right now, I don't think the Lakers are a home court team in the West. Certainly don't think they're a contender in the West.
You can contend without a big last year. You can be a contender without a big last year. Now you need a bunch of pieces.
Markieff, the Lakers weren't contenders. What don't you understand? You guys lost in 5 games in the first round. You thought the Timberwolves were a bad matchup? Could you imagine playing the Thunder? I guess this is what they meant when they said, if you haven't played, you don't know basketball. Because I don't know what the this guy's saying right now. I know he plays for the Lakers, but Jesus Christ.
What are you shaking your head for? People were picking the Lakers to win the championship last year without a big. I'm confused.
If people thought they were going to go on a run last year and then now they're able to get a big, why has that changed?
People are also just wrong a lot. I would say they were wrong about the Lakers.
So the reason the Lakers are contenders is because people said they were? He's using hot takes by Shannon Sharp to say the Lakers are a contender.
OKC, KFC, UFC, Lakers in 5. It don't matter, divorce court, child support, Lou Dort, Lakers in 5.
He's not judging the Lakers by the postseason. He's judging the Lakers based on what ESPN said. Even if the Lakers get the big they desperately need, they won't be contenders. They still need depth. Remember when the basketball lord and savior himself, JJ Redick, played his starters for 10 years and they died on the court? The Thunder don't have that problem. The Thunder have a deep rotation. They can play a double big. They can play small. They have bench players like Caruso, Cason Wallace, Aaron Wiggins, Isaiah Joe, the other Jalen Williams, while the Lakers are planning for Bronny to be a key part of the rotation. They need more defenders. They need more shooting. Expecting one center to come in and completely change your team to win a championship is insane. What happens if he gets hurt? What happens if he fouls out? Oh, that's right. The media would just make him the next scapegoat. The Rockets, Timberwolves, Cavs, healthy Pacers, healthy Celtics had all of that and still lost. You think a team with a 41-year-old LeBron, Austin Reeves, and Luka Doncic all playing heavy minutes are going to play elite defense with no bench? Of course not. You need those extra guys to come in and help your defense. If the Lakers got a center tomorrow, here's what would happen. The media would start celebrating. The Lakers are gonna win it all. Lakers in 5. LeBron and Luka are gonna lead them to a championship. It's over.
It don't matter. Divorce court, child support, Lou Dort. Lakers in 5.
Then the Lakers would start losing games, and they would look for a scapegoat.
Your best player now in Luka Doncic is out of shape.
Luka Doncic is such a fat ass. I thought he was skinnier. They said he was skinnier. He sucks. Nico was right. That guy sucks ass. I wish we had AD. Then they'd finally be honest and look at the roster and say, hey, I think the Lakers needed a little bit more depth. They didn't have the rotation to keep up with those other teams. Defensively, they fell off, especially late in games. Guys got tired. Even with a big, they just weren't quite good enough. But let's just sit back and enjoy the show.